We are ready.
Okay. Okay, let's call the meeting of the Irvington Architecture Review Board. We will start with continuations. And the first continuation is ARB 17-30 to Main Street. I believe you're here for that?
I am.
Okay. Generally what happens now is you present to us what it is you want to do. We have the paperwork, we have perhaps some questions, but generally, you have the drawings with you, or?
I do. There's a small reference.
You want a large reference?
Yeah.
You can put it on there.
Do we have
Also,
notes?
I don't know.
Do I sit here?
Over there, maybe in the
Over there.
bucket over there?
Usually they present from the easel.
Yeah,
There's
but-
a microphone there.
Oh, all right. Well,
You can do here. You can find the binder somewhere.
basically what,
Introduce yourself.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, my fault. We are taped, and we will need you to tell us who you are, who you represent, into one of the microphones.
all right. My name is John Coogan. I am an architect of the firm of Oaklander, Coogan and Vidal. Our offices are in New York City at 14 East 4th Street.
Okay.
We have been in practice for about 35 years, my partners and I, and we specialize in affordable housing. Much of that work is in New York City, but we've done quite a bit of work in Westchester and in upstate counties as well. And a lot of our work has to do with historic preservation and restoration of existing buildings, and preservation of affordable housing in those buildings. And so, adaptive reuse of underutilized structures. So, I am representing the owner of this property, Workforce Housing Associates. And they do specialize in affordable housing. Their firm grew out of the City Housing Agency in New York City, where their principal was deputy director for many years. And since leaving there, they've been involved in preservation of existing troubled properties to try to get them on financial footing for the long-term preservation of the housing there. We're working on Grayston's portfolio in this case. A group, a nonprofit organization from Yonkers. And as we're working on this building on Main Street here in Irvington, we are also working on of the Grayston buildings in Yonkers as well. They are putting together financing through New York State Department of Housing and Community Renewal, homes and community renewal, as they're known now. And to that end, we're looking to do renovations on this building that we're going to maintain it for another 20 years or so in good physical condition. So they have one chance to get this funding in order to preserve the affordable housing of the building and maintain the building envelope. And so, the work that we are proposing here involves renovation in the apartments. It has nothing to do with the library. Everything will be above the library floor. And the work will be involved only with the apartments and things such as kitchen cabinet replacements, bathroom replacements, lighting upgrades to more energy efficient lighting, some insulation, and finishes on floors and paints and so forth. But there's no big renovation in terms of, we're going to have the tenants will remain in place throughout. So it's more or less cosmetic. We will be upgrading the boiler to get a more efficient boiler plant for the upper floors. And then we will be, I guess the reason I'm here is we will be working to maintain the facade and roof of the building. in the exterior envelope of the building. There are a couple of issues with regard to water penetration that have been experienced by the building that we are going to try to address. And in doing so, we have been working with the State Office of Conservation Officer, the SHPO, in putting together a plan for the restoration. We received approval from them on the plan, and that is mostly, I saw there are a couple of notes that are a little stray on there, but it's mostly the drawings that you have in front of you are the ones that were approved by SHPO. The work will involve the cleaning of the facade with detergent and non-abrasive methods. So it won't be super clean or sandblasted or steam cleaned. It'll be a gentle cleaning. There'll be, we'll go over it carefully from the scaffolds to see the condition of the mortar. So we have money in there for repointing areas that need to have worn joints that need to be addressed. There's an allowance also for cracked masonry, cracked brick, which will be matching brick masonry. Similarly, there are some standing seam metal roof elements and sections that will have experienced some rusting, which we will intend to replace in a piece-by-piece manner to match the existing. The main membrane roofs we're going to replace because they're about the end of their useful life expectancy. They're generally not very visible from the street, but those will be replaced and insulation will be added in those areas as well for benefit of reduced utility bills inside the building. The windows are wooden windows presently. We surveyed the windows and found that they're in pretty good shape, generally speaking. There are elements around wooden sills that have begun to degrade and rot. Working order, and we intend to restore those. We would remove any rotted elements and replace them with matching profiles in wood. We would take out other sections and build them up. If it's a small isolated area, we generally cut out the damaged areas and build it back with an epoxy product that is a kind of a putty compound that will be restored to the same contours as well. And then we will paint and caulk the windows to prevent any further problems. The windows on the train side have interior stall windows. And those were put in for sound, basically. But you find that those apartments are generally a lot more comfortable in cold weather because they are, they let less of the heat out. So we intend to use that same, the back windows were not done that way. We want to put those store windows on the interior side of the rear windows as well. So we think those apartments that face out onto the back side, we're going to add those. But the exterior will not change in terms of the window. There are 3 windows relocated in the tower on the corner that are in very poor condition, and we will be replacing those with matching windows, the same profile as the existing. And I'll take any questions.
You want to talk about, before we go on, the trash enclosure details?
Oh, yeah, we're going to replace them in wood. We're going to use a galvanized treated wood, which will then be painted. And we have instruction to match them with the existing. So we're going to take one out and rebuild it as a sample. And then if that passes muster, they're going to continue and replace them all. The intention is to leave it as we found it, but so they will last that way for another 20 or 25 years.
So will they all be replaced?
Yes, they will. Yeah, they're not in good shape.
I'd like to
understand a little bit more about the building, because I'm familiar with it. So you were saying that the owner's John Warren Workforce Housing, but then Greystone is?
Well,
what?
they
How
have
does that
sold
work?
it to,
Oh, so there has been so the owner is John Warren, but the previous owner was Workforce?
no, Workforce Housing was John's company.
Okay, and then Greystone was the owner?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and are all of the units within the building all affordable housing?
Yes.
And how many units are there?
13. Isn't it?
Uh,
Maybe it's 13
22.
affordable and
22, yeah.
the
okay,
others
so-
are,
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. So of the
Okay,
22 units, all of them are affordable, is what you're saying?
some of them are low income, right?
Yeah, they all are, they're all are income restricted.
Sorry?
They're all income restricted tenants.
But you were saying that how many of them are affordable? You were referring to the units you're addressing, and you said those are the
We're doing
affordable
all
units?
22
You-
apartments. They're considered affordable in that they are affordable for people of modest means.
And you were referring earlier that you said you're going
That's
to...
the way it's been run for.
From the beginning, right, yeah. And then you were saying that the work you're doing is to last another 20 years? Why do you keep referring to 20 years?
Because they have financing through that time
Okay.
in place, and that, that's their projection.
Is it at that point when they're not going to be affordable anymore and they'll be market rate? Is that what you're indicating?
Well, it's hard to tell. If they're still involved, it'll certainly remain affordable. But this, they have the option of opting out every so often. And they're choosing to. Right.
For at least 20 more years?
Yes.
I understand. Okay, thank you.
Okay, any questions?
Nope. Thank you for the very thorough explanation.
Very interesting.
It's a beautiful county out here.
First time here?
I've been here over the years.
Any other questions?
I was,
Are some considered low income and others affordable income?
Well,
I know there was
they're
a
all
distinction
basically-
initially.
There's a, I'm not exactly sure.
I thought it was like a 13 and 8 configuration or something.
There are ranges of percentage of median area income that they need to be within. So some of the units may be at 80% AMI, some may be as low as 30%.
So there is a difference.
There's a range generally in these developments. I can't say specifically on this one, but usually there's a range within them.
I mean, Greystone is still, they were overseeing it at all? Are they involved in?
I don't believe they're involved. I
They're
think
not.
that Workforce is taking over the management and ownership of the property now.
Okay, and again, just because we make questions, and so I better understand, so all 22 units is what you're going to be addressing, and I assume all of the residents are on board, they're looking forward to this, there's no objections, right? Okay.
Yes.
And they live during the renovation? You're just-
They'll be able to live, yeah, the type of renovations are gonna be such that we work around them. We'll do the bathroom 1 week, and then we'll come back and do the kitchen, we'll measure the kitchen, come back later on and do those. And they can stay, they'll always have running water throughout, and, you know, it's a little bit of annoyance, but it's worth it.
They got
You
a
can
new,
see it.
there's a new bathroom or something.
Yeah, yeah. I would put up
And when does the work start?
well, the funding is supposed to be closing in September. So we'll start immediately after that.
is it, what's the roof now? I know, on the
There
metal
are
roof?
several different types.
The metal roof.
The metal roof is a galvanized sheet metal.
So it's, the pieces are being replaced in full, or how is that?
Well, the entire section will be replaced. Vertical from.
Is it is it the east facing?
The west facing has a lot of damage. There are some of these toward the south end.
Mhm. Okay.
And how long do you expect this to take? How long will it take?
Imagine that the entire, we should be able to do it within 12 months. I think they allot a little bit longer because we are working with the tenants in place, so that you have to work kind of slowly through there and progress. You can't just go gangbusters and be
Obviously, you don't want.
Oh, yeah. That's for sure.
Are the air conditioners being taken out? Or are they, I know they don't
The
have
window units.
the window units.
Well, we don't have provision for central air, so they'll have to keep those.
When are you planning to do the exterior?
I'd imagine that some of the roofs will be done before winter, if we do get started in September. Probably.
Yeah, because
Old building we scaffold?
Yeah, we have to put a bridge around, certainly around the entries. And certainly when we are working on the roof and masonry on the street side will be completely built under a scaffold.
Who's your contractor?
Their name is Erin Construction. They're from Long Island. New Hyde Park.
Like the girl's name? E-R-I-N?
Any other questions? In great detail, the paperwork and
lot of
all my
details.
questions, yeah, all my questions have been answered. So.
Were there any concerns from Chicago?
Yeah, we had a few. They mostly were concerned that we didn't clean it too thoroughly.
Ah,
So,
it has a great color, yeah.
yeah, it does. So we will be using a detergent, and they specify the types of brushes we'll be using. We just want to make sure that we get any acid or grime off. Just cut it back, 30 years or so worth of pollution. Still, it's like it's-
Okay, any other questions? Okay, so motion to approve the application,
So moved.
second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
You're welcome to take that set with you.
And that one for that.
I can give you this one as well. Sure you can use it. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Are you on the train? You run?
Yeah. You're a lot done on the train.
You do, every day. You will, too bad.
Uh-oh.
No, yeah, you missed it. 9:16.
It's a 40-something,
Okay, thank you. You can
Have a good
call the
night.
building department tomorrow. He'll arrange to get the permits and everything to you.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Good night.
I guess
That's unusual, right?
17-36, yeah, for a Ferguson Malone Architecture not to be here, something must have happened. I didn't speak to Ed today, so if they weren't coming, he did. At any rate, we are done for this meeting. I have nothing on the agenda other than 555 Broadway, 555 Broadway, South Ferry, Mercy College, windows. Everybody's here?
The houses? I didn't.
Adjourned?
Oh, that's the house. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, it's the one, it's the big one.
Yeah.
It's the big one. Or the-
Yeah, Verrazano. Down on-
All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.